Excellent, thanks.
Our school board is here in force tonight. I know we have Adam Shares right out here in front. I thought I saw Ray McGarry is around. Here he is. Barry Stupine is right next to Adam. Thanks for joining us. Brian Allen. Brian's here. And that's the school board. I know we have our treasurer, who's so good they can't run anybody against him, but still vote for him on Tuesday. Jay Blumenthal. We'll also start with the person who they couldn't find somebody to run against because she's so overwhelming in her wards, Lori Schreiber in Ward 14. Always get some of the loudest applause. It's awesome. And I don't know if Tom was able to meet. He was going to try and get here. Tom Hecker also. He's running on both sides of the ballot. So please give Tom a round of applause. Joining us all the way over from Ward 2, Ken Brodsky. Been working really hard. Ken, thank you for joining us tonight. I know Jimmy's here. Keep Jimmy D over in Ward 4 for doing an amazing job. Just follow the t-shirts to Mike Thompson. He's been doing a great job over in North Hills, Ward 6. Shaquilla Holt's been working so hard that her opponent was taking people from all over the township to try to help run against her. So you've been keeping her busy, and you're doing an amazing job, Shaquilla. Thank you. I also want to say a brief thank you for Robin and Sherry for hosting us here. It's amazing gallery. And I just spotted the chairwoman of the county, Val Arkush, is here with us as well. Not running this time, but doing a great job. Thanks for coming out, Val. At this point, I want to turn it over to one of the hardest working.
Matt, Ward 12.
One of the hardest workers. It was the beginning of the introduction. One of the hardest working candidates of my entire experience in the 10 years that I've been doing this stuff. Somebody texted me at one point asking if there's a 10-run rule for signs because the game should be called. That's how many signs he has out there. To my knowledge, Matt's been around the ward how many times at this point?
4 to 5.
4 to 5 times. He hit all his benchmarks, and we couldn't be more proud. So when he said we want to have a rally, we said just name the day and time, and we'll all be there. And place. And so, without any further ado, I'm going to turn the program over to Matt. Matt, thank you.
Thank you. Before I say anything, I want to invite Judge Jeff Moulton up just for a few words about his campaign.
Hey, thanks. Hey, thank you, ARDC. And I don't want to take much time at all. Just a couple quick points for you the next 24, 48 hours getting people out to vote. One thing we've learned in the last 9.5 months of what's going on in Washington is that judges matter, right? Judges matter at every level. They matter. We are an independent, co-equal third branch of government under the Constitution. Mr. Trump doesn't seem to be aware of that, but we've relearned that in the last 9 months. So we have 3 versions of the Trump travel ban. How'd they get stopped? Strong independent judges. We have the transgender ban in the military. How'd that get stopped, at least temporarily? A strong independent judge. What do we need to do now to make sure we don't roll back 40 years of progress in the next 3 years? Elect strong independent judges. We need you guys in the next 48 hours to get the vote out, because southeastern Pennsylvania is going to be crucial. To elect Wendy and Jeff, we've got a terrific slate of 8 candidates running statewide. They're unbelievable. We're being attacked now by the Republicans. That's a good sign. They've got bad ads against us. They're challenging our patriotism. They're attacking Dwayne Woodruff at the top of the ticket in a horribly shameless way. So let's not let them get away with that. Let's get out and vote for Matt. Let's get out and vote for all the other local candidates. And while you're there, vote Straight D also. Again, my name is Jeff Moore. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. I can't say thank you enough. I look around here, I see neighbors, I see family, I see people I met 13 years ago when I first came to Abington to work for Josh Shapiro. And it's really humbling that you've come this far with me and are going to see all of us through to the election on Tuesday. 13 years ago, I came to Abington with a pair of shorts and some t-shirts to work for a man I'd never heard of before, Josh Shapiro. I met him August of 2004, and never once did I doubt that this man could win. He could take the State House, take a seat that's never been held by a Democrat before, and then it's propelling all the way to the Attorney General's office. I've learned so much from Josh. I'm so thankful for him. I mean, who in their right mind would make a 23-year-old the chief of staff? And so for that trust, I'm eternally grateful. I'm a better person for it. I'm thankful for my parents, Dave and Carmel over here, who've been my inspiration my entire life. My wife, Caroline, who's put up with so much over the last 7 months. And for my daughters. Bella and Allie, because they have been my inspiration for this campaign. At the end of the day, this is not about national politics, although it does put a wind in our sails. This is about our community. And it's making sure that my kids have great playgrounds, they have safe streets, and that they have a great business district, Keswick Village, to go to have fun on the weekend. We only do this if we work together as Democrats, Republicans, Independents, non-parties. This partisan politics does not matter at this level, and I think we've shown that in this campaign, and if elected, I will continue to show that as commissioner. So thank you so much for everybody for coming out. I'm looking forward to Tuesday. Got to get out to vote. If you don't get out to vote, none of this matters. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. I'm very humbled by your support. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Natalie Dean, our state representative.
Well, this is a great turnout. Good evening, everybody. Let's do it again. Good evening, everybody. Aren't you delighted to be in the heart of the civilized world? That's what Glenside is. I was born and raised here. When I moved 1 mile away to a different zip code, people called me a traitor. Well, I'm not. This is truly the heart of the civilized world. I am delighted for Matt and for all the candidates who have worked so hard, but you are very impressive in what you've done. 5 times around your ward is really impressive. But I'm also just delighted to see all of you, because none of this would be possible without the strength of this community, of this Democratic Party, of leaders that we have in our midst, that we've grown up with. I grew up a little ahead of you. But all of that is because of the people of this community. These candidacies of these qualified, quality people wouldn't happen if it wasn't for the incubator that is right here. And the fire in your belly to do something for other people, to do something for your community, to make it better for your daughters, for my granddaughter, for my kids. So I'm delighted to be here with a lot of elected leaders to say every one of these elections matters, from Supreme Court to Superior Court to Commonwealth Court to Common Pleas Court. It's going to be really fun to see these 2 judges on the bench, to magisterial district judges, to the commissioner races, and everything else. Every one of these elections matters. I hope you will pledge to get 20 of your friends to guarantee they voted on Tuesday. And with that, I think I'm passing it back to you, or am I going that way? Oh, I'm delighted. I get to pass this along. I don't know if you know this, but recently Josh was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is a little funny. It's well deserved, but it's a little funny considering your age and youthfulness. But I understand why that happened. Montgomery County Democratic Committee awarded Josh the Lifetime Achievement Award because in this short 44-year life, he's achieved so much. And he's achieved a lot to bring others along with him. And so, without further ado, I'm proud to introduce my friend, my mentor, our Attorney General, Josh Shapiro.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for your hard work and your diligent service to our community. And I think Matt is right. Glenside matters. I mean, Val Arkush is here, right? Put your hands together for Val. And Joe Foster, the chairman of the Montgomery County Democratic Committee, is here. And having run statewide, I know how big this Commonwealth is. There are 67 counties, and within Montgomery County, there are 62 municipalities, Val? 62. And Jeff Moulton chose to be here in Glenside tonight. He deserves our vote on Tuesday. Thank you, Jeff. I want to talk about Matt, and I want to talk about what's at stake on Tuesday. Matt wasn't kidding when he said he came here with a pair of shorts and a few t-shirts 13 years ago, right?
Yep.
Now, I think that means he thought I had no shot in hell of winning, and by the time the weather got chilly, he'd be long gone. But he stuck with it, and he froze his butt off, but went on to help us achieve a victory here that most people thought wasn't going to be possible. And then he served with tremendous distinction as Chief of Staff, putting people first every single day, working for people, making sure they got their services from the state, making sure he advised me on policy, making sure that he acted ethically and responsibly. Then Matt and Carrie together said, you know what, it's time for us to build our own lives and, you know, build on her legal career and develop his, have two beautiful girls, and go out and care about building a family. But Matt didn't stop at just building his family. He stayed dedicated to our community. He stayed dedicated to Glenside and to Abington. You know, I'm fond of reminding people of the passage from Scripture that no one is required to complete the task, but neither are we free to refrain from it. And some of you have heard me say that before, and you're probably wondering, why does he say this all the time? But I say it all the time because I fundamentally believe people have a responsibility to get off the sidelines and in the game and do something about it. And Matt has demonstrated a willingness to do something about it. I was really struck by what he said just a moment ago when he was talking about you know, the sort of partisan nature of our politics today. Of course it's become, but how here in Abington, here running for township commissioner, that's not what it's about. And the truth is, he's 1,000% right. No matter where I go in this Commonwealth, no matter what community I'm in, urban, rural, suburban, black, white, brown, rich, poor, it doesn't matter. Everybody basically wants the same three things, and they're the three things that Matt talked about. They want good schools, safe communities, and economic opportunity. And Matt Vahey will know how to deliver that here in Glenside. He will know how to deliver that here in Abington. He has the skills, he has the training, he now has pants, and together with leaders on the board, guys like Stephen Klein and Brodsky and others who are on the board, and of course Shrives, they are going to make a real difference in our community, making you know, progress for schools, for our safety and welfare of our community, and for economic opportunities. I couldn't be more proud to be with him and couldn't be more proud of him here tonight. Now on Tuesday, and I know you're all here motivated to vote for Matt, but for those of you who might be thinking about the other races like electing Wendy and Jeff to the bench and other races, I also know you're probably stirring a little bit inside, right? You look at what the president tweeted that morning and it's pretty easy to get angry. It's pretty easy to get down. It's pretty easy to be fearful about the future of our Commonwealth and our country. I get that. But I choose not to think about the negative things the president does, although I'm happy to sue him when he does do it. I choose to think about the kind of Commonwealth and country we want for ourselves and act on that, to get off the sidelines and do something about it, like Matt and others do in Harrisburg and Val and Ken do in Montgomery County. So what's on the ballot, yes, it's Matt Vahey's name, and it's Wendy and Jeff's name, and it's Jeff Moulton's name. But what's really on the ballot on Tuesday is electing people who are going to push back on the efforts in Washington and absolutely make sure that women have the right to choose and make decisions over their own bodies, right? Yep. And what is on the ballot on Tuesday is thinking about the kind of environment we want for Matt and Carrie's kids and our grandkids and everybody else in this community. That's on the ballot. Making sure we stand up for our veterans in meaningful ways is on the ballot. Making sure that we go out and push back on attempts to undermine workers' rights in this community. Criminal justice reform is on the ballot. There are real things that we can go out and affirmatively vote for on Tuesday. And so I would like to ask you, as we close here and we think about the next 48 hours where we're going to make calls and knock on doors and actually get people to the polls, think affirmatively, think positively, think about the things we want to accomplish together that we Abington Democrats have been working on for years, and not get distracted by the noise that's out there, but instead focus on improving our communities, and our Commonwealth, and our country. I know that working together, we can accomplish that. We've proven it here in Abington, and I know that we're going to continue to prove it on Tuesday. So we got to get out there and vote for Matt Vahey. We got to get out there and vote for these judges. These judges matter. We got to get out there and vote for us. Vote for our communities, vote for our values, and vote for making a greater difference in our community. Thank you very, very much for being here. On a personal note, thank you for believing in me every step of the way and giving me the greatest job any human being could ever have. Thank you very much.
All right, so you got your marching orders. Get out there and vote and bring your friends. We need to get every person on the Democratic ticket elected on Tuesday. Thank you so much. Oh.
One request. So now I know everybody's all riled up. Josh has a way of doing that, and so it's really awesome. I always hear him speak. It's always awesome. We have packets inside. It takes about half an hour, 40 minutes to do one packet. I did it today, and I'm in horrible shape. So those of you in better shape will probably have less time to do it. If you can give a half an hour or 40 minutes, it's all the candidates who are up and down the ballot in the wards, and it would really be a huge help. So if you could stop in and grab a packet.
Can I say something about the packets?
1,000%, yes.
Just so I don't have to say it 27 times.
If you are going to take a packet, just know that you might run out of lit before the list is over, which is fine. If the lit's gone, you're done. And I don't need anything returned to me. There's a map on as the first sheet on the list. Don't live and die by the dots on the map. Just look at the addresses that are on the sheets following. It's a door hanger and a palm card in some cases, and you just cannot put anything in anybody's mailbox. So if you have the palm card, make sure that you're just tucking it in a door somewhere or something, not in a mailbox. So just sort of meant to say that.
No, that's perfect. And it does make a difference. When people get those palm cards, they hold on to them and they take them to the polls with them, and it reminds them to vote. So thank you, everybody. This is amazing coming out tonight, especially. I know the game was kind of boring about halfway, so that's cool. So anyway, thank you, everybody. Thanks again for coming out.
Thank you so much.